What's up, everybody? This is a test. I know I haven't been doing these podcasts for a while, a couple weeks now. I've been using all my free time to edit episode 200 of the other podcast, so and then basically just building the trailer. So I'm doing these on the weekend still, and then we were gonna do them on like Mondays, but Tyler missed this Monday, I think, because he was sick. So I didn't do it. I just worked on the trailer. I'm still doing 75 hard. Tyler's still doing 75 hard, and Maddie's still doing 75 hard. I think Maddie might be done today. Today might be her last day, so which is good for her. I still got I think like about 50 more days, 50, and I don't know how many more Tyler has, but we aren't all. Me and Maddie are noticing differences. I'm sure Tyler is too. I don't know. I haven't really asked him about that, but. Anyway, so this is a test because I got new internet. And so I don't want to cancel the old internet just yet. I wanted to see how well this would do on a live stream. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to run this live stream here. I don't really have anything to do or talk about or whatever. Updates on the trailer, I think we could talk about that. I got all of I think pretty much most of the parts that I need for it. I still need U-bolts that are supposed to come today. My airbags didn't come with fittings, so I ordered those, and I think they should be here maybe tomorrow or something. And I need the fittings. I need to pump the airbags up to know what their true height is going to be, because I just can't believe the numbers on the internet. It said, they say that it will squish down to like 2.5 inches. I can't get it to squish down to 2.5 inches. Like if I push on it and then like close it so it stays flat. Basically, I think the lowest I got was like 3.5 or 4 inches closed. So I might not get 8 inches of travel out of it. So, and I think it could collapse more, but it would be squishing the bag into the mount. So I don't know if their 2.5 inches is squishing the bag into the mount, like if you had something that went inside the bag, so the bag would actually go around the mount. But the mounts I have don't do that. That's not going to work, I don't think. If it does happen like that, then the rubber might be chafing on the metal, which is something you have to worry about. It's something that happens, like when I'm driving the truck. One of the things that we could get shut down for is like our airlines can't be rubbing each other or metal. So you have to look for that in your pre-trip, and obviously the airbags can't be rubbing any metal either. I mean, like if any of that stuff gets a leak, like that's your brakes. So it could affect your braking, and that's obviously not good. That's how a lot of people die in trucking and out. Like, when trucks run into things, often it's brake related. A lot of times it's brake related, and there's some issue with the brakes. So anyways, I drew the rest of this model and made the little toy for Milo that he wanted, but I didn't film it. I just did it. I learned a lot about FreeCAD and how it works and how to get it away from those errors that I was getting on this podcast in previous episodes where I was drawing this. And so maybe tomorrow or this weekend, there's some other things that I need to draw. I think just from now on, whenever I need to put something in FreeCAD, I'm going to stream it. Or I'm going to try. I have there's some caps I'm going to print. So they're going to go inside the metal, inside the think of like a square tube. There's a couple square tube things that I've made that basically I can't weld a cap on the end of them because there's a bolt that's inside of them, and so I need plastic caps to go in them to finish them off, so you can't just see the bolt and the spring. So I'm going to do that. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to design it and then just leave it and not use it. And then I'm going to have Declan design one. And then we'll compare our two designs. He doesn't know that I'm going to design one yet. I just told him yesterday, I'm like, you should design this thing. So I've got him into FreeCAD. Like yesterday, he made a Minecraft cube that's printing right now on the 3D printer. So, if I can get him working on stuff, he could design stuff too, and we could be doing his builds. But anyways, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna redesign the bearings. There's these bearings that I made, these plastic bearings that need to be redone for the trailer. So I'll do that all live on here. And what else? I might do some emblems. We can 3D print emblems for the trailer and then just glue them onto the trailer, or whatever, screw them on or whatever. There is I have thought about we could 3D print things and then start sand casting. There's people online that I've seen do this where they'll 3D print whatever they print, right? And then they put this in their sand and make their mold, and then they melt down like aluminum or whatever and pour it into their mold. It's really hard and it's a lot of work. A lot of times it doesn't work, but they seem to always get the results that they're looking for, where they can actually cast their emblems or whatever, their little things they're making or whatever, Maybe someday. The other option for this type of stuff would be to get some sort of CNC machine, CNC router that we could program. We could program in FreeCAD whatever our design was, like this, right? And then have it cut out by the CNC machine. And so far it looks like there's no issues. So with this internet, I got fiber. So Google Fiber. That's what I ended up getting. We were looking at getting the T-Mobile wireless home internet, but looking at it, they didn't have very fast speeds. They didn't claim very fast speeds. The fiber claimed 1 gig, and that's what I'm paid for, is 1 gig, and that's what they've claimed, right? So you can get 2 gig from them and others. But yesterday's speed test at the router was 1.2 gigs, but at my phone was 530 megabytes. Basically, the up and down is the same with every test I've done. And then I tested on my phone with a third-party tester. I tested Google Fiber, and it was 530 up and down. And then I switched over to, in the same spot, I switched over to the Xfinity because it's still on. And download speed was 60 megabytes per second compared to 530. And upload speed was 30 megabytes per second from my phone. So I don't know. Here's what I don't know. The router that I have hooked up to my modem on Xfinity is really cheap, because I had an expensive, nice one, and water got poured on it, and so it's dead. So, and I didn't have a lot of money to spend at the time, so I just bought a cheap one to get us by. And then the cheap one just worked. I never had any issues with it. The only issues that I had with it is sometimes it doesn't like to talk to my wireless printer. And I don't know exactly why or how to fix that. And we've found workarounds for it, and we just do the workaround. So it's not a big deal. But, even at that slow of speed, I can just use my phone normally. If it's, 60 megabytes per second, that hasn't seemed to be an issue. I watch YouTube on my iPad wirelessly through it. It's not like it ever cuts out or anything like that like it used to. I don't think that it always just goes for the HD, but I don't know if that was because of my speeds or because of YouTube. Maybe once a month or less there might be an issue, but I don't think that was my router. I think that was Comcast literally having blackouts, or interruption of service, right? So in reality, if we're now seeing 500 megabytes per second versus 60 megabytes per second, I don't think I'm going to have an issue with speed. So, and in both of these tests, nobody else was on the network. So basically, you know, I don't know how much data is really going back and forth for, like, there was probably 2 iPads hooked up to the Xfinity with my phone. And on the fiber, only my phone was hooked up to it. So I don't know. But normally I stream on this computer through like an actual cable, through this cable. So this is hooked up to the router, and then the router is hooked up to the modem. So it's all through wires, which gets me, I know it would get me a lot faster than Wi-Fi, right? And I've never, I think we did accidentally stream through Wi-Fi a couple of times because I forgot to hook this up. And I don't know that it was ever an issue, you know, because at the time in streaming, I was still dealing with a lot of other technical issues, we'll say, that were causing other issues. Like if you have, for example, if you have certain video capture cards, we'll call them, plugged into certain USB things, it doesn't work. Like if I try to send 2 capture cards through the same USB, it has weird issues. And it took me about a year to figure out that that's what was happening. So like cameras would flicker and weird stuff like that. So eventually I figured it out, and this is the product, I guess. But anyway, so I don't know if at that time when I was having those issues, if it was, you know, you never know whether it's the computer or the internet or the camera or the capture card. Like there's so much stuff plugged in down here. Who knows what's causing the glitch whenever we have glitches. But so I am testing Wi-Fi on fiber on their Wi-Fi router compared to Xfinity on a cable through my router, and I don't see any issues. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go back and, you know, check this, but the stream settings, as far as YouTube goes, I'm looking at the YouTube studio window right now where we have our data, and it says stream is healthy. Stream health is excellent. So, and that's through Wi-Fi, you know, which is probably not super recommended to be sending, you know, uploading video through Wi-Fi, but maybe now it's fast enough that I don't have to worry about it, you know, back in the day. So on the stream latency, I'm set to low latency. I'm not sure that matters. That's probably just how much of a delay they put into it. We do have options for ultra low latency and normal latency. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really tell me exact numbers of anything. I could go to OBS. I know there is a window in here that I can pull up that will tell me some things. I don't know. I don't remember where it is. Maybe stats. Here we go. But I don't think it tells me that kind of stuff. It tells me CPU usage. I don't know if it tells me what the internet is doing. The stream, okay, output stream, 0 dropped frames. Total data output is, looks like it says 518 megabytes. So if I have 530 megabytes per second upload speed and my total data output is 525 megabytes, is that per second, I wonder? And if it is, so is that why this is gonna always work? Because because that was my phone that was getting 530 megabytes. It's possible the Wi-Fi antenna is better in this computer. In fact, it probably is, because this is a MacBook Pro. I mean, it's probably whatever the best is that they can put into this thing. I mean, it's like, it's probably bigger, which would probably give it more speed, I would think. Maybe. It's probably a little more powerful. Maybe. I don't know. But, so maybe, I haven't done any speed tests yet. which I'll probably log off from here and go see if we can do a speed test on this computer and compare the two. But so far, what I see, and I'm only on day 2 of this stuff, here's what I see so far though. If you're going to go for Google Fiber over Xfinity, and the Xfinity, maybe you need to think about the way you do things a little bit. Maybe there's something you can do. I don't know. Maybe if you ever hear this, if anybody from there does. But I've been using Xfinity for a long time. Used to be Comcast, and basically they just kept raising my rates. Like, I won't say what they were, but they wouldn't call me and be like, hey, we have to raise your rates because of this. They wouldn't send a letter. I would just get my bill and it would be more money. They did that for like, I don't know, the last year or so. And to the point to where I was just like, okay, why? I don't want to. And then I saw that Google Fiber put the stuff into my neighborhood whenever they did. I don't remember, but I saw what their prices were, and I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to be faster because it's fiber, right? Fiber is faster than a cable, right? Like, isn't that the way it works? You've always heard the internet. That's the way the internet is. So, right? Light is faster than electrons. So I called them and I was like, well, yeah, let's try it. So no, we called Xfinity first. And we were like, hey, can you guys help us out here? You know, like, we don't want to be paying this much. And they basically just said, we can't lower your rate because you're boosted, or something like that is what they said, which makes no sense because we're not on a contract, like, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, then I got my answer. Like, I gave them an opportunity to keep the customer. I gave them an opportunity to keep me as a customer. Not really, fully down with switching. Like, I don't even really want to switch. Like, I would have rather just stayed there if they could have matched the price, match the speed and match the price. Well, what it looks like is I'm paying a lot more money, almost double, for them to give me less speed. That's what it looks like. I'm on day 2 of this, and that's what it looks like. I'll keep looking at it. So then I call Google Fiber, and they're like, yeah, we can hook you up with blah, 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 this and that, whatever. And then they asked me how much I was paying there, and then they tried to sell me 2 gigs based off of how many devices we have and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I don't want 2 gigs. That's what I told them. I was like, I only want 1 gig because I want to pay the least amount possible. And if it's not fast enough, then I'll upgrade. How about that? And she's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. So that's what we did. And it looks like it's way faster than Xfinity on the 1 gig. So I don't even need 2 gigs. Like, this is going fine. I don't see how having a whole band here is going to add any more data to output, because it's just got all of the, the different things, like me here, this background here, right? This is all put together on the computer in this program and then sent out as one 1080p video to YouTube. So it shouldn't get more data if we add more cameras and stuff. That processing is happening in the computer, right? So it should be the same amount of data. Like, it's all getting mixed in the computer and then sent out. So the data should be the same going out. It still should be 520 megabytes going out to YouTube, right? And I'm assuming that means per second, because we're doing high definition video. So there you go. So I think so far it's better, and I think it's going to work. And basically, I need to just transfer all the devices to it, because right now everybody else is still running off of the Xfinity, and I'm running off of fiber. And so I'm going to transfer everything to the fiber, and then we'll see how it goes and see if it's still good or not. It should be, but I think it's going to be better. So if you're thinking about making the switch and you're listening to this, I don't know why or what, but this is day 2, and it seems to be faster, better, stronger. So yeah, today I'm gonna call Comcast again and tell them to shut it off. It's like I'm gonna try this now, and that's just the way it's gonna have to be, I guess. But anyway, so thanks for watching, and look tomorrow, maybe tonight, but probably tomorrow, I'll be back on with the stream designing some of these other things. I need to design the bearing and some other stuff, maybe some caps. Oh, I need to do a spacer. I got an RV style door handle, like a lock, for the door of the bathroom on this trailer, and it's just like ever so slightly too wide for inch square tubing. Like I think they just made it, they made it for like an RV, and it's probably like a 2-inch door, and my door is only going to be 1 inch, and it almost clamps itself on it, but it needs a little spacer in there. So I'm just going to 3D print a spacer to stick on the inside of the door that will help it to clamp in, so it seals, so no water goes in, and then also so that it's not loose. Like right now, I think the way I built it, if I put like the jam part on, the little piece of metal that screws around, it's hard to explain, but I think if I put it together all the way, it would hold still, but I'm going to also put a spacer just so that it clamps to the door better. So I'll be designing that. So this weekend I got to design all those things, and then I'm going to be doing lots of welding and cutting and grinding on the trailer, getting the air suspension put in, and I'll try to film that, and that will probably go up on my other channel. But anyways, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.